Hey there, gang. Do you remember Aella? I personally have been following her blog for a couple years, I think, and her Twitter feed for at least half a year. And I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask her about both. And she was so kind as to indulge me in answering some of these questions. So I have another 45 minutes recorded with Aella where she just answers a lot of my questions. They're pretty scattershot. We covered a lot of things. We talked about sex work. We talked about sex in general. We somehow managed to get onto circling, which is a thing in the rational sphere. There was a little bit of talk about her personal life. It was a very wide-ranging discussion. Also some talk about fame and attraction. If you're anything like me, you will find this really interesting. This is for Patreons only, but of course there is a teaser here to entice people who are not patrons to maybe sign up for Patreon, maybe just for 1 month just to check this out, and heck, maybe even to stay on longer if they feel like it. Anyways, here's the preview. Thanks, bye. So, when you first got into it, it didn't really feel like a gendered thing to you when you first camming?
No, but I was weird as fuck. Like, I don't know if that could be. I was a real weird person when I first got into it.
Yeah.
I think I was like trying to desexualize myself in some way. I don't know. I just hadn't been exposed to sexual content at all. I mean, you probably know that the homeschooling thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't really have experience with like how to do attraction, like what attractive people look like, or how they behaved, or the kind of thing boys wanted. So I was just a spaz person who was like kind of uncomfortable with being sexual.
So, okay, did you know that you? I mean, obviously you know now, but when did you realize that you were attractive?
Maybe like a year ago.
What? You gotta be kidding me! Are you seriously?
Well, it depends what you. So my suspicion is that like the feminine spiritual sibling to rationality is circling. Is my guess. So I think it kind of is doing a similar target that circling is doing, or sorry, rationality is doing, but it's doing it through an emotional basis. So I think there's a lot more women there. I would say we should look there.
Okay, I see. I am terrified of doing anything with circling because I am, not allowed to express deep emotions in public lest people not want to sleep with me anymore.
Yeah, you could just go to circling and say that.
I guess, but then they're going to try to draw me out and make it a whole emotional thing.
Yeah, then you could say that.
You're tricking me into circling, aren't you?
No, my point is like circling feels like one of
the. You left when you were, I believe, 18, 19, if I remember.
17.
17. Okay. How, if you don't mind me asking, like, how did that go? Did you just walk out of the house one day, or was there like a distancing process?
No, so my dad's like a poop head, and at one point we were driving in a van, the family, and then there was a fight, and I